Hello, good people of the internet, and welcome to Famipod, a podcast for family where we cover all of the critical hits and industry shifts of the gaming landscape. Like EA has officially gone private, Sony Santa Monica doubles down on God of War, and Asha Sharma outlines Xbox plans for the future. I'm your host, Ryan Tierney, and with me tonight, um, I have the return of the beautiful Swedish baby boy after my attempts to evolve him into the beautiful Swedish baby man have failed. I'm giving up and I'm going to return to the moniker that he so dearly loves. Mr. Dennis, how you doing? Well, I mean, I gave you the choice and you kind of chose to go to revert back. I wanted you to be a man. I wanted you to be the baby man, and you just spat all over that. Interesting, interesting. Do you have any suggestions? Baby boy, it is. I'll tell you what. When you come up with something that you like, you tell me, and I'll roll with it. But until then, Dennis, you're muted. Well, while Dennis figures out his audio issues, I want to welcome Curly, Burb, and Diego to the chat. Welcome,
There we
everybody.
go.
He defaulted into Swedish baby mute. Dennis, I'll ask you again so the chat can hear you how much you dislike being a baby
Let's
boy.
let's just let's just we're restarting.
We're gonna restart.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Stopping the recording.
We'll be back.
Go to starting soon.
Hello, good people of the internet, and welcome to Famipod, a podcast for family, where we cover all of the critical hits and industry shifts of the gaming landscape. Like EA has officially gone private, Sony Santa Monica is doubling down on God of War, and Asha Sharma is outlining Xbox's plans for the future. I'm your host, Ryan Tierney, and with me tonight, I have got the return of the beautiful Swedish baby boy until he otherwise identifies himself. Dennis, how are you doing tonight, dude?
I mean, I'm not supposed to come up with my own name.
Well, here's the thing. I came up with two of them, and you don't like either of them. Now, here's the thing.
It's
You're
the
not actually
same
technically.
thing.
Oh, but there's nuance to it. Obviously, one's a man, one's a baby. Obviously, one has a better connotation than the other.
Both of them are
Um,
babies, in fact.
that's true. One of them is a boy. One of them is a man. That's a good point. That's a good point. Um, I mean, you could just be the beautiful Swedish man.
Why is being Swedish my whole personality?
I wouldn't say it's your whole personality. You're also beautiful and a baby boy or baby man. Swedish is just part of it. That's just one of the three adjectives. Would you not say that you're at least a third Swedish?
I am 100% Swedish, actually.
Well, I mean, come on now. Sometimes I introduce you as the famed developer of the Buddy Signal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I prefer
it just
that.
depends on the day. I could rope that in every single time if you want.
I prefer that for sure. Yeah. Should we start? Should we
All right.
start over?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's done is done. Follow up question, Dennis, because we had some discourse in Discord earlier this week, and you are developing quite the reputation as a mouse hater. The allegations are mounting pretty severely. You avoided a week of content where we tried to review Mouse PI for Hire. You, to my knowledge, do not care for Mickey, and now there's been some slanderous words about Mina the Hollower this past week, and I would just want you to. I want to give you the floor to defend yourself, uh, and let the people know like that you don't just hate all mice. So the floor is yours. Do with it as you will.
You guys are acting like I'm saying Mina the Hollower is a bad game. I've never said that.
I mean,
I said it's not really working for me. I think it's a little bit too sweaty, especially for a proposed Zelda game.
I
Um,
mean, here are the words I remember reading was this boss is not even well designed,
I mean, yes, it.
and
By the
the
way,
movement
when
doesn't
I
feel that good.
yes, but that doesn't mean the game. I'm not like making any kind of proclamation that the game sucks.
I feel like we were heading down that corridor. You know, maybe you flip flop. You know, what about Stuart Little? That's a good point. But how do you feel about little Stuart?
I don't know.
Little Stu, as the streets call him.
I think I saw like Stuart Little 2 as a kid, and
Okay,
that's
okay.
about it.
Objectively, the best Stuart Little.
I don't remember anything.
Do you remember the skateboarding? No. Interesting. Well, because we are down a member of the three amigos tonight, I had an icebreaker question for Curly as well. But since he decided that he doesn't love us and he had other things to do tonight, I'm gonna ask you. Curly is very famous for not finishing games. Um, what is your like most egregious game that you picked up but never finished? Curly's obviously, and mine for that matter, probably Tears of the Kingdom, and the fact that he waited till Tears of the Kingdom came out to beat Breath of the Wild. What would you say yours is?
I mean, I feel like you would say Elden Ring.
Did you pick up? You played Elden Ring?
I played like an hour of Elden Ring.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, how far did you get in Elden Ring? Because I mean, I don't even know if I'd count that.
I mean, I didn't really leave like that first neighborhood.
Okay, so you went to Limgrave. Yeah, I don't even know. Like very famously again, Curly got all the way to the final boss of Breath of the Wild and just put the controller down. And didn't pick it back up until Tears of the Kingdom came out. Like, yeah, do you have anything similar to that?
I'm pretty sure I do. I'm trying to think. Don't remember.
While you're thinking about that, let me get through some housekeeping. If you're new to the channel, you can catch Famicom live every Wednesday around 10 p.m. Central Time at our new destination of twitch.tv/Famicorp. You can catch the VOD up every Thursday morning on youtube.com/@Famicorp. And for the casual listener on the go, you can find us on your favorite podcast services such as Spotify, Amazon, and Google Podcasts. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and X/Twitter. Follow us wherever you get your gaming news, wherever you get your social media fixes. Give us a like, give us a comment. Let us know what you're thinking about EA joining the private sector and Xbox's plans for the future. And if you're a God of War fan, also, what's your biggest video game blind spot or game that you picked up and didn't finish? Dennis, I gave you a minute to think. What'd you come up with?
Can't think of anything. By the way, that's not what the private sector means. EA has
Sure, it
always
does.
been in the private sector.
Nah, man, when they went private, they were a publicly traded company. Now they're private. They're privately owned.
Yeah, but the private sector means anything outside of the government.
We're arguing semantics here. You knew what I meant. They didn't. They knew what I meant. They're privately owned by an investment firm.
I'm just saying
We're going to
that's
talk
not
about
what
it.
it means when people say the private sector.
That's what I meant. And that's all that matters because I'm the host here.
Sure, but words mean things, Ryan.
They don't have to. They can mean whatever we want them to mean, man. And in that moment, you knew what I meant. Anywho, let's. You said you couldn't think of anything.
I can't think.
All right, well, you got the whole podcast to think of something.
I mean, when I play a game, I'm either gonna stop it like a few hours in if I'm not feeling it, or I'm gonna play it all the way through.
Fair enough.
I mean, I guess
right,
you can. Okay, I guess the most egregious would be Hollow Knight Silk Song. But that was a situation where I just
Okay.
couldn't actually progress.
I mean, you got the like the first ending for that, right?
Yeah, but I didn't get
Yeah.
to like through Act 3 because I just straight up couldn't get past the bosses that were ahead of me.
I'm on record as of saying that I think the final complete ending of Hollow Knight Silksong is a little bit uh, egregious from a design standpoint. Like having to do everything you have to do to get that ending feels a little bit much. Curly and I disagree on that, but I don't know if I'd count that one against you. It's most people probably didn't even know how to get it without a guide. I certainly needed help. So, um, let's crack into this first topic. It's a doozy. EA acquisition by Saudi Arabia's PIF Silver Lake and Jared Kushner's Affinity Partners is now complete. This from IGN.com for Virginia Glaze. EA has officially completed its $55 billion acquisition to an investor group comprised of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners, announced on August 4th, 2026. This massive business move has been nearly 1 year in the making, first announced in September 2025. This moment recognizes the extraordinary people whose creativity, ambition, and passion have made EA one of the world's leading interactive entertainment companies. Also, most notably voted the worst place to work in the industry. Uh, we're entering the next chapter from a position of strength with partners who share our vision and ambition. Together, we'll invest boldly, accelerate innovation, and build the next generation of games and experiences for the hundreds of millions of players and fans who inspire us every day.
Notably, that
Uh,
was said by Andrew Wilson, chairman and CEO of Electronic Arts, which you just bypassed. You did not even note at all what part of that was a quote.
what? No, I totally said which part of that was the quote.
No, you did not. You did not say quote, and then you did not mention Andrew Wilson at all.
I said Andrew Wilson, chairman and CEO of Electronic Arts, said in a press release.
No, he didn't. Am I
It sure
wrong?
did.
Anyway, whatever. Um,
I think he just like corrected me. Also, Curly says I'm half cropped out.
I'm not
We have to
controlling the
restart this whole
crop.
thing.
I'm not controlling the crop. You're off center in the video.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Nothing I can do
Why?
about that.
Why are we so small? Why are we so small? We're not usually this small.
Well, I mean, we would be even smaller if I did this.
I mean, that's whoa. That what? All right, all right. It's neither here nor there. We'll fix it in post. No, we won't. As reported by Financial Times, after the acquisition was first announced in September 2025, the deal hinges on the hope that artificial intelligence will significantly cut EI's operating costs, helping the consortium of private investors to better manage the debt. Sources involved in the acquisition told the outlet that the investors are betting these AI spurred cuts will result in higher profits in the years to follow. Dennis, how do we feel about this?
This is my biggest point here. I mean, first of all, I hate the fact that Saudi Arabia now owns EA. Like that fucking sucks. And
Yeah,
like Andrew Wilson says, we're entering this next chapter from a position of strength. No, you're not. You wouldn't be doing this deal if you thought you were in a position of strength. Like that's just ridiculous to say that, and especially be like, oh, we had to take a loan from the Saudi government for I think it's $22 billion to even do this in the first place. It's like that's not a position of strength, my guy. But that's just like straight up bullshit.
Then, strength equals I got a lot of money.
Yeah. But in that case, they would have had a lot of money on their own, right?
Right.
But yeah, then as it says here, like as reported by what you just said, like as reported by the Financial Times, that this whole deal hinges on the hope that that artificial intelligence will significantly cut EA's operating costs. And it's just like, what do you mean? That's not a thing anymore. Like back in September 2025, yes, that was a thing because AI was not did not wasn't paid by a token on a token basis. Back then it was, still subscription costs and it was subsidized. But now businesses actually have to pay on a per token basis. Um and I mean, we've seen since then, like, companies are hiring people again because it's actually cheaper than the like half-assed work that's being put out by AI that then a real person has to fix. And like AI coding agents are so like incredibly inefficient. They can just burn through people's token budgets in like hours. Um then yeah, I don't know what this means. Like this isn't a thing anymore. The idea that you can like, can you is there a possibility that you can cut operating costs with AI? Probably. But significantly? No.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Also reported that this was like at the time of its announcement, EA's acquisition was the largest deal of its kind in history. Apparently, so they're going to have to cut $700 million off the top right away. So mass layoffs across their entire set of studios. On top of that, what was it? The CEO got an $8 million pay increase over the last year, and I believe cut out like a $38 million bonus right before this deal went off, which is insane. Uh, a podcast I was listening to did the math, and basically, like, you could pay like an absurd amount of your dev team's salaries for like 2 years just off of that bonus alone. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, it feels like this is so, like, these people are so detached from reality. Like the idea that we're gonna cut costs with AI and the what was the verbiage? Industry leading, or like we're in a place of strength. Anything
Mm.
thinking that EA is like at the top of their field in any regard whatsoever right now. Uh, this whole thing feels terrible.
Yeah.
Let's see
No,
anything.
I think like, I think it's so weird. Like if you look at the like the trends of all of the big publishers, or many of the big publishers recently, or I don't know if many, but I'm thinking particularly about EA and Ubisoft. They
Right.
were like at the top of their game like 10 years ago. And then they just fell off a cliff. And it seems like that happened because they stopped knowing what they were doing. Like
Yeah.
Ubisoft just started chasing a bunch of really strange industry trends instead of just making good games, which they had been doing. Like, I want to, like, basically up until 10 years ago, Ubisoft was like in their golden era. Like starting with like Assassin's Creed 2 and then Far Cry 3, and then like kind of started going like slowly kind of downward from there. But they were still pretty high back then. Um and then they just started falling off a cliff immediately. Um and it feels like this really just stupid trend chasing. Um Meanwhile, look at Capcom, where like Capcom is essentially milking Resident Evil, and people are like, yes, give me more.
Yeah.
But it's because they're doing it well, and like they keep yeah, Curly, I didn't mean like Assassin's Creed 2 wasn't 10 years ago. I mean like the era of Ubisoft's golden age ended 10 years ago. and it started back with like Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, these two. I mean, those two publishers, Ubisoft and EA, were kind of both in their heyday around the same time.
Mm.
I feel like the early 2000s more so for EA with like the way their sports titles took off with Madden, um, and, and like FIFA and stuff. But it definitely feels like we went from people who were like industry trendsetters to the fact that they're chasing trends and failing to do so. It's kind of like whiplash. Like how did we get here? What are we doing?
Yeah,
It's
I do feel like we are heading into like a big like a big change for the game industry. I think a lot of these big companies are looking to AI to fix their problems, but I think the real problem is just the fact that like they all seem to think that scale is the solution to everything. And I don't really think it is. Like we, especially with, again, with Capcom, like they have they are making a bunch of games and they're all much smaller scale than what we have been used to the last few years, the last 10 years.
mhm.
In terms of like the scale of games, like Resident Evil Requiem was like the biggest and most expensive game they've ever made, and even then that game wasn't even that big. um it was kind of it was kind of the same scale as a lot of the other Resident Evil games. It was just kind of had a little bit more je ne sais quoi, you know.
Yeah.
um so so yeah, and yeah, and I think what's really cool about that process that they are doing is because they have so many games coming out, it reduces risk, which is the biggest aspect that keeps making these companies so inherently uncreative. Because since everything is so expensive, everything needs to be so completely desanitized that it becomes, you know, that it's can be marketed to anyone, which means that it becomes a product for no one. Um, but with Capcom, like they can, if they had like a failure with Resident Evil 3, but that didn't really matter. It was like a learning lesson. They learned things from Resident Evil 3. But the fact that that game failed to hit expectations from fans, it didn't like hit them badly in any way. That was just like, okay, now we know what people don't like about this, and now we can avoid this in the future.
You talking about the original or the
No, the
remake?
remake.
Okay. Yeah,
Because
and
I
I mean,
would
a
say
lot of the
in
things.
this like modern era, especially within Resident Evil, 3 remake is really the only one that's been bad. I still thought it was good, but I mean, after playing the original, it's clear it didn't. It's not like a very faithful remake of of 3. Um,
It, its dev time was a long. Like they developed that while they were developing two remake, right? They were initially supposed to release like side by side. I think was the
Initially,
what I read on
3
that.
was supposed to be a DLC for 2.
Right. Right.
Uh, so I mean, at least they expanded into a full game, but like you can even compare like 3 remake to something like Separate Ways, which is a DLC for 4, and that's even more that's even like more fleshed out as a game than Resident Evil 3 remake is.
Yeah, it definitely feels
Yeah.
like in a different time that would be like a decent path forward for EA where you could go back and like uh try the Capcom approach
Mm.
where you give us remakes of Mass Effect and you give us remakes of the Dragon Age games.
But
I
that's the
don't I
thing.
don't know.
They tried to do this. They did the Dead Space remake. The problem is nobody trusted them. Like their Dead Space remake was amazing. But they have not built trust in the fan base of like, oh, like I remember like when the remake was coming out, it's like all the conversation was like, there's no way this is gonna be good. It's fucking
Yeah.
EA, like that was the entire conversation, right? Um and like it was the same kind of when Resident Evil 7 came out, which was kind of the revitalization of the series. People didn't really believe it until people started playing it, and like the word of mouth started spreading, and then they kept hitting with like RE2, RE3. And then it was like, hold on a second. And that's kind of when I jumped into the series. And then just kept going from there. Like I was always like I was saying, like at the time, it's like you have to just keep doing it. Like you can't just expect to revive a dead IP with complete garbage reputation. Not Dead Space doesn't have complete garbage reputation, but EA has a complete garbage reputation. And then
Right.
just expect to get the Resident Evil numbers. Like that's just not how it works. So what they should have done is just trusted the process and immediately greenlit Dead Space 2 remake. And maybe even a new Dead Space game at the same time. It just kept going. And I think if they would have done that, we would have probably had Dead Space 2 remake by now. And maybe things would look different. I think pretty clearly would look different. Wait, when did Dead
Yeah,
Space remake
definitely.
come out? That was 2023.
I think so. It was early 2023, right? It was one of the first games released that year, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah. So I think
Um,
if they would have ensured to do like an effective and streamlined development, they would have been done with Dead Space 2 remake by now. What is what is that studio doing? What are they called again?
that
Um,
I'm not sure. Dead Space remake.
Motive. What is it doing?
Yeah, motive.
Oh, they're working on Iron Man.
Oh right. Oh right. Okay. I forgot that was so. So EA's got a few things in the work. Or no, they canceled the Black Panther game, right? Um, which leads me into my question. So $700 million worth of cuts around the board, and I would imagine we titled this "Prepared to do their best Xbox impersonation" because with the $700 million in cuts is going to come a restructure around their key franchises. Uh, what do you think that is for them? Obviously, they're sports titles, but I mean, their sports titles cost so much for them to even make because they have to pay the giant like entities like the NFL and the NBA for licensing. Um,
I mean, what the fuck's an EA or franchise?
I mean, Dragon Age, but they kind of that one did like wet the bed on his last release.
Yeah, that's what I
Dead.
mean. They don't have any anymore.
They have a Mass
They
Effect game in development.
yeah, but like that, even that, it's like people aren't excited about Mass Effect anymore.
Right. I mean, they have the Star Wars license. They have the
It's not an
Jedi
EA
games.
IP.
I mean, Jedi is
They don't
what they're going to
have
focus around, though.
anything. They have Apex Legends.
I mean, that's a big one.
That's like basically it. They gave up
Yeah,
on Need
I
for
mean,
Speed. Battlefield. Yeah, they have Battlefield.
right. And Battlefield 6 was successful last year. They had a successful launch of that. That was
Yeah.
well received. I mean, the Jedi games do well. I mean, I doubt they're going to stop that. Although, I mean, this could be the end of the trilogy. Who knows if they make another one after that? But
Mm.
Respawn's got to do something.
They have
The
the
Iron Man game.
F1. They have the F1 series, but that one's even wasn't it like rumored to they were gonna shut down Codemasters?
It's the first I'm hearing that. Oh, The
I don't know. It's
Sims, of
like a year
course.
ago or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I would imagine. So, like the way Xbox, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, the way Xbox is refocusing around Minecraft, I would fully expect EA to restructure like around The Sims. It's probably its biggest cash cow. Um, which I think we're still on Sims 4, right? We haven't gotten a new Sims game in quite a while, other
Wait,
than like just
whole
expansions too.
there was a there was a real-time strategy Titanfall mobile game that came out in 2017. Did you know about this?
I sure didn't.
I'm looking at like list of EA games, and Titanfall was a franchise here, and the last one was Titanfall Assault in 2017. Like
it
I've never heard about that before.
could always refresh Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, they've done that multiple times now.
Yeah.
Um Early says The Sims in the comments. I mean, they are in the chat, and it's like that. What they canceled Sims 5.
Hmm.
And like now there is a resurgence of, and now there's like a bunch of Sims clones coming out. I saw one recently. I mean, we had that one in Soy that came out like I think last year.
Mhm.
Um, uh, but I think that the more interesting one came into early access. I think just like a month ago or something. It's called Paralives, I believe it's called.
Hmm.
Yeah, Paralyzed. This one looks really good. Has a very nice stylized art style, and uh like you live in a town. Everything is not like completely segmented like it was in Sims 4. A lot of positive reviews on it on Steam. I really wanted to try it, but apparently it is like an actually early access game and not just like a fake early access game. It's like quite buggy, what I've heard.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I do want to try this. Um, I think I remember when they canceled Sims 5. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, this is a cash cow for you. Do you know how many fucking expansions you've released for Sims 4 that are like almost like full price games in their own right? And
I
they're
mean,
like, ah,
I don't
let's not
devil's
make another
advocate there.
one.
I don't see the reason that The Sims can't just be a platform or like similar to the way Minecraft is or the way that
Well,
other people treat like.
if you're actually in the Sims community, it's like people don't really like Sims 4, or
Hmm.
like they do now that it's been kind of really built out, but there's a lot of like this game looks really old now. And especially like when you put like this when you put like Sims 4 next to like Pair of Lives, which has a much nicer art style, and then next to something like Insoy, which looks very realistic. Um, just kind of it's kind of taking Sims in two different directions. Both of them are just kind of clowning on Sims 4 at this point. Um, and yeah, I I mean the rumor with Sims 5 was that it was gonna be like open world, completely seamless,
Oh
um,
wow.
stuff like that. Uh, which is what kind of both Paralyze and Insoy are doing. So yeah, it feels like when they fell asleep at the wheel and let City Skylines take over SimCity. Um, and I feel like they're doing it again.
I'm very notably not a Sims guy. I never really bought into the franchise. Not really a big fan of it, but like obviously that's if EA is gonna like turn or right the ship, they gotta. I guess they have to focus on that. Outside of that, I'm not really sure what else. Like really, they could key off on unless the new Mass Effect is something to write home about. But given their recent like forays into reviving their dead franchises, I have my reservations on that. And then the sports titles, of course. But I think another report came out that they just shuttered their like the studio that made the FIFA World Cup game to go alongside uh, the World Cup that just took place, which I guess makes that I'm not gonna say it makes sense, but like I don't know if that's like reading the tea leaves or anything of what's to come, but like or if that's just like a hey, we put a studio together to make a World Cup game.
By the way, I'm looking at the franchises that EA has here. There's a lot of car games. There's a lot of driving games here.
Makes
Um,
sense.
so yeah. Um,
My I think the saddest thing that comes from this is like the restructuring around the key franchises, which we know what that means based off of what Xbox has done. Is we're going to lose the creative division within EA. The teams that made like Lost in Random or Unravel and Unravel Two. Those types of games aren't going to come from EA anymore. I mean, they haven't for a little bit now, but
EA
I mean,
Origins.
those were the things that got me excited. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, they're
Um,
definitely cutting that department entirely.
mhm.
Um, so if you got to make the decisions at EA, what would you do? I know what I
I mean, I feel like you have to revive Mass Effect and you got to take another swing at Dragon Age. Probably remake one of the Dragon Age games, because Inquisition, not Inquisition, the Veilguard was not well received. I wouldn't even bother venturing into a new game in that franchise until you've proven to your fan base that they can trust you with for what they want. I guess from this the series. So those two would be like I mean, and then center around like Jedi in the short term because you got the end of that trilogy coming up. You
I mean, I feel like I would immediately go back to doing Dead Space 2 remake, and also greenlight a new Dead Space game at the same time.
mm.
Um, I would immediately greenlight Titanfall 3, and specifically tie that more into Apex Legends in terms of marketing. Like maybe even call it Apex, like Apex Titanfall or something like that. I don't know. Um, because that is like Apex Legends is like legitimately a hit for EA. That's
Right.
still working for them, and I think it's insane that they haven't tried to capitalize on that, especially with
It's odd.
how much like how much fans really love Titanfall. Um, I would also I don't know if there is a new Need for Speed in development. I would definitely get another one out. I thought Unbound was really good. Um,
I think as far as goodwill is concerned, like getting back to EA Big, getting the NBA and NFL Street games going because those
mm,
were like huge for them in
I would
their.
absolutely love if they did a new SSX game. I love SSX 2012 so much. I mean, I love SX3, SX Tricky. If they did another SSX, I would fucking die on the spot, dude.
Yeah, I mean they've got titles to work with. I mean, and keying off on those franchises hopefully will pay off if they make if the games are good, if the direction of the games are good.
Yeah.
But
Like
that all remains to be seen.
I so deeply believe in the idea of lowering budgets and making smaller games and making more of them. Like I think that
Yeah,
makes so much sense Like I just don't really see why like Nintendo's been doing this for decades. Capcom has just started doing this in like the last decade basically. And I don't understand how everyone else doesn't see that. Like, oh, that's just straight up a way to make anything work. Um, I mean, of course, you need to actually make good games as well. Um,
It hasn't
but
always been sunshine and rainbows for Nintendo. They've had stumbles along the way. It's easy to look at their history and say, look, they've always been great, but I mean, there were dark times at Nintendo.
but I mean, even like during the Wii U era, they were still making good games. Like the
Sure,
Wii U,
the public
even though it didn't
perception didn't
sell
agree with you
well.
there, but
I mean, the people didn't like the Wii U or like didn't understand the Wii U or were very very like um attracted to the idea of the Wii U, but the games that they made during that time were fucking bangers. Like I think Nintendo made some of the best games they've ever made during the Wii U era.
hmm.
Um and we can see like basically all of those games sold like fucking gangbusters when they came to Switch.
That's true. I mean,
Diego
yeah,
says we got Pikmin 3. Exactly. Pikmin 3 is one of the best games of all time in my opinion. Um and that was during the Wii U era. Um like I would say there's not a single era of Nintendo where they made bad games. Unless you go before like the NES era. Um but I
yeah,
mean they made some shit during the NES era too. And of course Nintendo has made bad games across their entire lineup. But there's not like an era of bad Nintendo games.
sure. No, I'll concede that. I'll just say not everybody can follow that model. Not everybody can wade through the storm of what's the like or the muddy waters of like, are we going to have a future when with how dark the period for the Wii U was? Even if you're making great games, you know, if the Switch doesn't come out and do what it does, we could be looking at those games in a completely different light because those games all got glow ups or you know a change in public perception once they ported to Switch.
I actually do think anyone could do the Nintendo approach. It's just that nobody with the money do that uh nobody with the money to do it thinks they can. Because they are too I think most of these companies are way too afraid of the fact that they don't have the IP for it. And I think it's just like a situation of like you just have to make the IP.
You just have to make $1 billion IPs. That's all. That's all you got to
Yes.
do. That's it. It's so simple. Dennis,
I
let's do
mean
it.
it
let's start our,
really
let's start the next Nintendo right now.
I mean I would if I had the money. But like fundamentally there is nothing special about Mario. He's just an Italian guy. But it's because we have been
Careful there.
seeing Mario for so long and like they have people who are competent making those games.
I
I
think
think if you just put a group of people who know how to make a good game in a room, you will get good games. It's like it's not that hard. Bad games come out of bad situations where people don't care or the like people aren't incentivized to care. Like it is I think it's
yeah,
way easier than
but
than
sometimes you make good
people think.
games and that's just not enough. Like sometimes Jeff Keighley stands on the stage and tells everybody that your game is going to redefine the hero shooter genre, and even though your game is actually pretty good, it's DOA because it's not what people wanted and it's nothing innovative. Like
Yeah, I also
Sometimes
think
you
you
can't.
shouldn't be like overselling it. I think by the way, the whole thing with High Guard, I think the entire problem with High Guard was that it was the last game at the Game
Absolutely.
Awards, and people thought it was gonna be Half-Life 3.
Imagine if he just swaps High Guard with Divinity. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
wonder
think
what
they could have.
what High Guard looks like right now if that was the
Yeah,
case.
they could have swapped it with like, I don't know, the Mega Man reveal or something, like literally anything
Yeah,
else. And I don't think High Guard might have been like kind of a oof, maybe, but it wouldn't have been this like active hate brigade situation.
it was
Um,
Concord too. Like, literally, like
yeah,
it's.
I
But
don't really
I think that
understand
you
what he
find
was
that.
thinking there,
I think that
putting
you'll
High
find that
Guard.
all over the history of games. Like you say, like you don't think there's been a generation of like Nintendo where they just put out bad games. I think you can point out that there's been great games for every publisher across every generation. Like you're never going to find a generation for a publisher that just had no good games like at all. But sometimes you can't rise above the circumstances of the place that your team is in, or your studio or your publisher is in. Like Xbox has great games right now. Like, but the messaging around Xbox is nobody wants to play their games there, and that there's just turmoil and toxicity all over the place.
I'm gonna say this right now. EA, Andrew Wilson, I know you're listening to this. You're not, but if you're listening to this and you want me to make EA into another Nintendo, give me 15 years. I'll do it. Trust me, I'll fucking do it. Give me 15 years. I'll give you I'll give you I'll give you a collection of new IPs that will sell like gangbusters. Um I'll do it.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
Good people of the internet. He's gonna do it.
I
Does that start?
literally I believe I could do it if I had the money. If I had the resources, I could build another Nintendo. I'm telling you. Like at least the software business, like probably not the hardware business. I don't have
Okay.
any experience there. I legitimately believe I could do that if I just had the resources.
That's a tall claim. It's a very tall claim. I would that start with the buddy signal? You think?
Yes. Um, what my point is not that like my point is I actually don't think like people give Nintendo like a lot of like, oh, they're so weird or whatever. Nobody could ever be Nintendo. It's like I actually don't think that's true. I think Nintendo just actually allows their creatives to be creative, and they hire the right people for the right reasons and all of this stuff. Um if you just do that and just get the right people who truly understand video games, that understand game design. If you have someone like Miyamoto that leads the creative um, at the company, someone who, you know, well, I don't think he actually doesn't lead. I don't remember. I think it's what's his name? The guy Koizumi. I think he is the one who leads creative at I don't know. I don't remember. But when you have these people who really understand the game design and allow them to make decisions, um, that's when you get good shit. Like I think a lot of these big companies, they're so stuck in the idea of like, oh, we have to focus on our core IP. Like Xbox is doing the same thing now. It's like, oh, we got to focus on your core IP. How did you get your core IP to begin with? You allowed creatives to make cool IP, and that's how you got the core IP. Just do it again. It's not that hard. Like, just get the right people in a room, give them a modest budget and time. You don't even have to give them a lot of time. Give them 2 years, 2-3 years, something like that. They'll give you something good and allow them to do that over and over and over again. Eventually, you'll have like a catalog of IPs like Nintendo.
All right.
They could do a Smash Bros.
You heard it here. You heard it here, everyone.
Do you think I'm completely crazy? Like, I think it makes perfect sense.
I think it sounds outlandish. Far be it for me to doubt you, because you're you know,
But I mean,
way
you
more
just have to
knowledgeable in this
look
field than
at
I
it
am, but-
logically. Like, imagine like back when Nintendo started. And they were like, they didn't think they could get anywhere if they didn't have like IPs like Popeye. And then they didn't get them, and they just made their own IP, and Mario became an icon. Like, you just have to try, and you have to keep going. The problem is that a lot of these
thousands of games that come out every year, man. Like just
yes, and if you have the resources of a company like EA, then you can get through that noise.
But those games, like, people aren't in the industry to take risks anymore. Like, when you're
yes, and that's what I'm saying.
All of
you
that
have
requires
to start taking
risk,
risks.
like an insane amount of risk.
Well, I mean, I think you would be able to do a lot of this for like a fraction of one AAA game in terms of cost.
I mean, why isn't, to your point? I mean, Tim Schafer is one of the brightest minds in the industry, right? Why isn't I'm blanking on the studio name. Why isn't Psychonauts just a massive IP?
They've only made 2 of them.
I mean, they've made 2 of them, right? And that's in a very short time. I mean, it's not like, and they've made a ton of creative experiences. They have IP at man, what is the name of their studio? I'm losing my mind here.
I legitimately think Double Fine. I legitimately think that's the thing. They only made 2 of them, and it was like 10 years apart or something. During that time, Nintendo released like fucking 20 Mario games.
Yeah. But no Star Fox games. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, they definitely released Star Fox games in that time.
Well, they went a pretty long stretch with that. That's neither here nor there. Let's move on to our second topic. Xbox wants to eventually reach.
Shaboik says, hot take, I like Astrobot more than Mario. Astrobot is a great example. Who the fuck cared about Astrobot? Sony just kept making Astrobot games, and now people like Astrobot.
Well,
saying
I don't know.
It works. Exposure
Astrobot
just
Rescue
works.
Mission kind of set the world on fire of what a VR game could be.
Yeah, but that was a VR game. And then it just kept making it. Like, Astrobot was just like a random character from like Astro's Playroom VR. But what was it called?
Did they just
Playroom VR, I think it was called.
Did they just keep making it, or did they? I mean, they did a pack-in title on the PS5, and then they did Astrobot. I mean, this is
Astrobot
their first, real
Astrobot came from before that. It was Astrobot. The character of Astrobot was first born in the pack-in title for the original PSVR, which I think was just called Playroom VR. And then they did Astrobot Rescue Mission, and then they did Astro's Playroom on PS5, and then they did Astrobot. And Astrobot is now an icon. I think you can make anything an icon through just straight exposure of good games. You just have to keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll table that for another time. We're 57 minutes in. We got to move on to topic number 2. Xbox wants to eventually reach more than 1 billion people each day. Asha Sharma tells staff the target is to get halfway there by 2030. This again from IGN by Wesley Yinpool. Xbox boss Asha Sharma has told staff that by 2030, Microsoft's gaming business should hit the halfway point of its ambitious target of reaching more than 1 billion people each day. CNBC reported that Sharma's memo, which followed hot on the heels of difficult financial results for Microsoft's gaming business, set out plans for revenue growth in the 2028 and 2029 fiscal years. Earlier this month, Sharma cut 1,600 Xbox staff with another 1,600 to go during the rest of this financial year. 4 studios are out of the door, with another on its way. The structure will see a doubling down on big Xbox-owned video game franchises such as Fallout, a significant investment in Minecraft, and a push for more casual audiences via the likes of Candy Crush. Xbox is firmly, and I mean firmly, in last place in whatever remains of any console war that exists. Dennis, how outlandish are these statements, and how out of place are these statements to even make on the heels of announcing that you're cutting 3,200 jobs?
I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. Like, also, I was like barely listening to what you were saying, but like the one where this statement that she made with the Xbox wants to eventually reach more than 1 billion people each day, and they're gonna reach half of that by 2030. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You start making exclusives. It makes no sense. Who is gonna buy? Who is gonna buy 500 million? Or wait, yeah, exactly. Who is gonna buy 500 million Xboxes in the next 4 years, 3 years, basically? Nobody.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sell more consoles than like has ever been sold in the next 3 years. If you want to reach 1 billion players, you don't make exclusives. But she does. She just keeps saying like, "Oh, we want to focus on console, but we also want to reach 1 billion players." It's like, pick a lane, lady. Pick one lane and go down that lane. I don't know.
Curly and I talked about this 2 weeks ago. They gotta stop talking so much. Like, this statement doesn't need to be said. Just do yourself a favor and shut up.
Exactly. Like, just shut up.
I have no idea what they're doing at this point. Like the idea that you're talking about reaching 1 billion people and being halfway there by 2030, when you're like, you might be a year away from like shuttering everything and just be going full publisher. Like, I don't. That's such a lofty, like unbelievably lofty goal. Like, without it really even knowing what their plans are. Like, they're going console exclusive for some of their games, but they're also developing a PC console hybrid for the next generation that's going to cost way too much money for anybody to actually be able to afford. But then they're porting games to PC or for backwards compatibility. They're testing out ad revenue in video games. Like, it doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. Announcing the restructure, Sharma says she wanted Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. Now, here's the thing. The billion people probably isn't just, hey, we're going to sell 1 billion Xbox consoles, or we're going to sell 500 million Xbox consoles.
Yeah, no, of course
they do have like the player base on like Minecraft. I think it's like 32 million people a day. So like, they already have that. The plans of like turning Minecraft into the like a Roblox competitor, which it basically kind of already is.
Like that right there tells you how extremely just completely off the ball that they are. They want to like engage 1 billion people a day. Or what was it? Was it 1 billion people a day, or what?
Yeah, a billion people a day. Yeah.
Yeah. And their biggest title, Minecraft, only has, what's it, 32 million?
Yeah, 32 million player base.
Like 32 million is a lot, but it's not a billion.
It's
Like, you are so far from this goal, and you want to reach half of that in 3 years. That doesn't make any sense. And then
they got to be talking about like a.
then you're also dropping exclusives. Like, I don't know what you're doing, man. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
It sounds like I almost wonder if it's just like investor talk. Like, hey, these are our goals. These are what we're planning to do. Get really excited. Give us your money, kind of things. But like, I don't know. Like, it just comes off so tone deaf. Like of them like not understanding where they are in the gaming space at this point. Now, they like I said, you got Minecraft. You have WoW, which I guess is now under their flag, one of their flagship titles. But I mean, I don't know if WoW is doing numbers like that anymore. Um, I'm curious what's the player base for Candy Crush? Because if they're including like King in there, maybe there's something there. But
Yeah.
let's what's Candy Crush's active player base?
I mean, did you see the whole thing about like it with Halo campaign evolved? It's like you need to have a micro each if you play co-op, each person needs to have a Microsoft account logged in.
But I experienced it.
Yeah.
Me and Sid tried to play Campaign Evolved. We did a little bit, and it was like, oh, you need both. This isn't local co-op. Like you can't just plug a controller in and go. You both have to have a Microsoft account. It's like
Mm. And it's like
stupid.
that the entire reason they're doing that is to boost their daily active user numbers.
Yep. That's dumb.
So stupid. By the way, Shaboink says in the comments that rumor is Xbox is pulling out of Steam as well. Now that would be truly stupid. How are you planning on reaching your fucking dumbass billion number when you drop out of the biggest market on PC?
Yeah. See, okay, that's why the talking is the problem, because I don't feel that pulling out of Steam is a bad move if you're trying to get people to come to your platform. Announcing that you're trying to reach 1 billion people per day makes you look stupid.
Yeah, no,
But I feel
like I should also say, like, that's why I'm saying pick a lane. If you want to focus on exclusives, you want to focus on that, drop out of Steam, even though I wouldn't like that because I like using Steam, but like drop out of Steam, start making exclusives, do like fucking double down, on all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanna reach the point of entertaining 1 billion people a day, then you should not be doing any of that. You should be putting your game on literally everything. You should be porting like Gears of War E-Day to iPhone and Android. Like,
yeah,
actually.
Which, to your point, the Candy Crush saga averages roughly anywhere from 57 to 113 million people daily. So I'm sure they're factoring that way into their goals
part
there.
of the value.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you have to account for the fact that there are definitely people who play Minecraft and Candy Crush. And that's why they need to have the Xbox login on all of their services, because that's the only way they can tell if there are repeat users.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and this is what we've been saying the whole time, even back in the Phil Spencer days. Like, the entire argument has not been that anything that Microsoft is doing is inherently bad. It's the fact that they're trying to go down two lanes at the same time. And it looked like when Asha Sharma took over, it looked like she was figuring it out, and then she just started going down the same two lanes again. And it just doesn't make any sense.
it's like whiplash. Like every other week, I feel like, oh yeah, what she said that makes a lot of sense. This is a
Mm.
good idea. I really like this. Oh, we're cutting through 3,200 million people. Oh, hey, here comes a bunch of Fallout games and an update on Elder Scrolls, and we're supporting 76 more and Elder Scrolls Online and Starfield. Oh man, that's awesome. We're finally gonna see something from Bethesda, and then this, and like, there's just I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm so tired of hearing about Xbox. I just want them to go away until they have something good to say or until they've got games coming out that I care about.
How many people have smartphones in the world? How many?
Last time I counted, I have no idea.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I think basically how many people have smartphones in the world is kind of your total addressable market, essentially. Um,
Hmm.
Apparently,
There
in
are
2024, smartphone users in the world daily were at 4.88 billion people,
no.
um, which is 60% of the world's population. So that is like your total, essentially like your total addressable market, because you can't really reach anyone who isn't online.
Mm.
And I think basically anyone who has a PC or a console also has a smartphone. So the smartphone is a pretty good
Yeah, but that
gauge of that.
that kind of goes back to the whole like their mantra that they were kicking around for the last decade of like anything's an Xbox that they basically got rid of Sarah Bond for.
Yeah.
Uh, like, are they gonna? I swear, if I hear that within the before the end of the year, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I would also just wouldn't be surprised like if that comes out of Asha Sharma's mouth before the end of the year.
And that's the thing, like that marketing play was such a failure that I think it's insane that they think this is still a good idea. Like, I do think the concept that Asha Sharma comes in and be like, and it's like, maybe we should just focus on console, PC. Um, like that makes perfect sense, except she's not doing that.
Yeah, and then like I think part of the restructuring was like they're gonna have the Minecraft division and King like actively reporting to Asha Sharma. It's like those two teams don't need your help. You don't need to touch those like at all. Like
Wait,
I
which
don't
teams did
understand
you
like
say?
uh King like the Candy Crush devs and then Minecraft are now going
Mm.
to be directly underneath Asha Sharma. And it's like that's unnecessary. Like you have so many other areas of concern that you just let them do their thing. They're fine. They do not need you
Mm.
messing with their
I
formula.
mean, I would argue that doing that actually gives those teams more control than before, because now they are at a higher point in the hierarchy.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Okay. Hmm. Yeah.
Instead of
Uh.
reporting to Xbox and then reporting to Asha, or reporting to Activision and then reporting to Asha, they're reporting directly to her, which means that they have been promoted in the hierarchy.
That's so that's what they were talking about with like the 16 layers of management or whatever that they cut out with the 3,200 jobs or whatever. Little bit of foretelling. How bad do you think the fallout from the E Day release is going to be? With the rumor of how much money they've spent on the development of this game and the fact that it is I mean it's still a day one Game Pass game.
Um, I don't know, man. I mean, it's still gonna be. I think it's still gonna. It's probably gonna make most of its money on Steam, which would
Mm-hmm.
also mean that, like, if they remove Steam, that would be absolutely ridiculously stupid. Um,
Yeah.
because that is like also like nobody wants to buy games on the Microsoft Store. So if they want to play it and it's not on Steam, they would get Game Pass for the time that they need to play it and then leave. And that doesn't help Microsoft really in any way, because what they want with Game Pass is people who stay. They don't want people
That's
who
me.
enter and then leave. So yeah, and making that game, I mean, reports were that they were making a lot of money releasing Xbox games on PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they would be making a lot of money on Xbox if it wasn't Day One Game Pass. So
I mean, think
yeah.
about the amount of money they'd be making if that game was not on Game Pass. Like $70 a pop on that. People are going to play Gears E Day. Like it's the biggest release for Xbox this year. Like I'm going to play it on Game Pass. I'm straight up. Like I've been cashing on Game Pass all year. I'm playing Beasts of Reincarnation on there right now because of it. Like, I mean, it's still a really good deal for consumers. It's terrible, like for for Xbox making money, but I mean, I've played tons of games I wouldn't have played otherwise because of it.
The boy says,
And
"Listen, I'm gonna pay for 1 month of Game Pass to play it. Remember that you can get a month of Game Pass, and if you cancel it before the month ends, you can get a refund.
that's crazy.
You can play Gears of War E-Day for free if you do it
That's
within a month
crazy.
and cancel before it ends. I don't know if that still works, but that worked for like at least like a few months ago."
Listen, I'm gonna refund 1 month of Game Pass. Oh man. Dennis, you got anything else to say on this matter? You want to jump over to our next one?
I'm just tired of the fact that we thought Asha Sharma was going to be the savior of Xbox, and then she just started doing the same thing Phil Spencer was doing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the jury's still out. I have no way how I have no idea how to feel at this point. We'll see. Well, apparently, we're going to see by 2028 they expect to be profiting again, and by 2030 they're going to be halfway to their goal. So the evidence is coming down the pipeline real quick.
Yeah, they're not gonna they're not gonna be at 500 million in 2030. That's for sure.
That's definitely. Uh, on moving on to our next topic. Next Kratos-led God of War game is coming after Laufey and connects directly to her story. Dennis, 2 weeks ago, they also revealed that Laufey is coming out in February of next year. I think the 26th, the day after Fable, which is just great news for Xbox. You jump out of the year to avoid GTA 6 and you run right into the next God of War game is absolutely insane levels of comedy. Uh, reading from this again, IGN from Wesley Inpool, Santa Monica studio head of creative Corey Barlog has announced that the next Kratos-led God of War game is coming after God of War Laufey and connects directly to her story. Confirmation comes from the God of War Laufey panel at the San Diego Comic-Con 2026, which IGN reported on live here. No further details were offered at the panel, although God of War Laufey has a confirmed release date of February 16th, 2027. We have no indication yet when this Kratos-led God of War game will come out or which platform it is targeting, nor do we have a confirmation of its title or its setting.
When did Ragnarok come out?
2023.
And the Laufey is coming out this year, so I would guess that
It was Ragnarok was 21, right? Because it was announced as a launch title and then it got delayed to the following year. Valhalla, I think, came out like a year later.
Ragnarok came out in 2022. So it took 5 years for them to make Laufey. I would assume it would take 5 years for them to make the next Kratos game. So we'll see that in 2032.
Well, you also have to factor in the trilogy into that too. So like, what are we seeing first? Um, the God of War remake trilogy or the new
Well,
Kratos game?
yeah, depends on like how that's being developed.
Yeah,
'Cause if it's being developed in house at Santa Monica, it's probably a separate team.
that's fair.
So I don't think that has any bearing on the timeline for the next mainline title.
Uh, does this news excite you? Are you you want more Kratos God of War? I know that this has been kind of a hot topic of like, should Santa Monica be moving on to a different IP, or should they just be keep? I mean, this lines up perfectly with what you were saying a few minutes ago about just keep hammering home great IP. Uh, I think doubling down on Kratos and doubling down on God of War is the smartest move they could do.
Yeah, no, I think they should be keep making God of War games. I think they have a world with a lot of interesting things to explore. Like I think, and they have a fan base who want them to explore all of those different opportunities. My biggest worry is that because of the kind of the subject matter of Lao Fei with the whole kind of uh this is kind of the resting place of the gods or whatever, like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they're kind of at risk of blowing the load too early. Like
Ooh, okay.
how do you do an Egyptian god of war after this? When
Do you though?
yeah, but it's just an example. When like Sekhmet is in this game.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be the move. I feel like I get what you're saying. Like you think you thought the next God of War like mainline game with Kratos would just be him trekking through a different like mythology.
I mean, probably, or I don't really know exactly what their plan is to do, but yeah, I'm a little bit worried that maybe that Lao Fei could be risking the franchise in that way. But I mean, I'm sure they know what they're doing. So
Yeah,
um, the one or I do think it's interesting that they felt the need to say this. Um, because and I think it is a good idea to say it because I think there's probably a lot of speculation in the fan base of like, oh, is Kratos completely retired as a character right now or whatever, and it's
hmm
and like they're really kind of by saying this, they're really like underlining the fact that no, Kratos isn't gone, Kratos is gonna be back. Um, which also kind of shows that the God of War franchise is a little bit like Halo, where the franchise can't really grow beyond Master Chief. Um, so yeah, because
I
I
mean,
don't think they would be able to pass on the franchise to Atreus. People don't like Atreus enough for that. Um, and I mean,
I think
maybe
it would take
we'll
time
see we'll see what
if they were
happens
to.
with we'll see what happens with Lao Fei. I maybe we come out of that game in a situation where people really love her as a character.
Mhm.
Um, but Kratos is just so iconic. Same time, um, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure why
yeah,
it would need to. Like, why does it need to like grow past Kratos? I mean, to the point you made before, Nintendo just makes a ton of Mario games. It's not like his franchise ever needs to outgrow him.
mm,
You could make side games like Lao Fei or give Atreus his own game
mm.
or the Sons of
The
Sparta thing, which was
difference
a
the,
monumental failure.
the difference with a character like Mario and a character like Kratos is Mario doesn't have a character arc.
Yeah,
Mario is a static character. And like in a franchise like God of War that is entirely about narrative in a lot of ways, eventually you will run out of ways to grow Kratos as a character and you need to move on from him.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess
or the
that's true.
franchise
That's
is
a good
dead.
point.
Um, it's like, I mean, when you're, for example, in like the Uncharted, on the Uncharted side of things, like, um, nobody is expecting a new Nathan Drake game.
That's so sad.
I mean,
That's so sad to hear.
everyone loves Nathan Drake, but his story was ended in such a beautiful way, and crucially, the franchise is full of fan favorite characters that could take over the
Yeah.
mantle. Um, and like with The Last of Us, the first game was Joel, the second one was Ellie, and I think there that's like a kind of a little bit of a different situation where, let's say they had made um 4 Last of Us games that all starred Joel, and then they moved on to Ellie or someone else. That might have been harder. But if you base your entire franchise on the idea that like there can be different protagonists in that way, then it's a lot easier for people to swallow the that idea. Um, Kratos has been a long for been been the star of what is it? 8 God of War games now. It's gotta be hard to move on from a character like that.
Yeah, I mean, he is your flagship like character at this point for
Yeah,
Sony. Like he across basically everything since the PS2. Like it's definitely something that's like, how do you move on from a character like that?
yeah.
Um,
So, and I think that is why they feel the need to say that there will be another Kratos game. Um, maybe they didn't know if there was going to be another Kratos game. Maybe they had plans of like, oh, maybe we'll do an Atreus game, maybe we'll do someone else or whatever, and uh, they were gonna figure that out later. But with Lao Fei, they like they had to figure out now, is there gonna be another Kratos game so we can tell people so they won't fucking hate this game for no reason.
Now, to counter that, at San Diego Comic Con, Barlog did say there's always going to be Kratos games. And that position was backed up by a later post from the company's official social media account, which stated that the city had many more stories to tell with him. So I the play, and look, that could just be Barlog riling up the crowd at San Diego Comic Con or something, or speaking out of pocket, because who knows how long he'll be at Sony Santa Monica to make that claim. But it certainly seems like you should find a way to keep him relevant in some aspect. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, uh, you got to turn. You can't keep milking him at some point, but you have to turn him into something that you can keep, like at least like referencing in some way, or keeping him relevant to the series. And Shaboink, I don't know if I agree with what he said, but you could have him regress back towards being Anger Kratos, but I don't know if I particularly like that. But you could always just reference his past the way they did with Sons of Sparta. Hopefully, maybe in a little bit better
Oh yeah, I
circumstances.
forgot
But
about that. So it's 9 games then.
yeah,
Shaboing says fan surveys need to be a thing. No, no, no. I don't. I actually hate the idea of companies like asking fans what they want. Um,
hmm.
because in the words of Steve Jobs, people don't know what they want, and I
So,
deeply believe in that statement.
question for you: this game coming out February 16th, either the day before or the day after Fable. Which situation is worse? Uh, is it worse for God of War to come out right next to Fable, or worse for Fable that Sony Santa Monica is releasing their next game right there?
Oh, it's worse for Fable, 100%.
Yeah, it
Fable
seems
is not.
obvious, but I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, Fable is an ancient IP at this point. Uh, I mean, for all intents and purposes, Fable is a new IP. Releasing next to uh I would say close to like the only IP that is that has like the only IP that is like completely kind of still like truly strong and powerful at Sony at this point.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's a rough. That's rough for sure. Moving out of 2026 to get away from GTA, only to be followed by Sony, basically Sony's flagship uh, franchise at this point is that's what I'd be curious if Fable moves again. They'll say there's they had to delay for polishing reasons or something, but they'll move to March or something or later in February. It wouldn't shock me. Um, Now, are you shocked we're getting Lao Fei so early?
No, it's not early, man. It's been it's been 5 years.
Okay, but like we saw the game like a month ago, or like
Yeah,
two, like
yeah, because they intentionally waited to show it.
sure that's I mean it's still like that timetable feels pretty crazy.
I mean,
But
like
like
if you think about like I mean Last of Us Part 2 was really like the last game that they did this with, but like remember or like that game had like fucking 4 trailers over the course of 4 years basically before that came out. Like in that world, we would be at like the third or fourth trailer of Lao Fei at this point.
hmm.
They like it's not a quick turnaround. They've been working on this game for 4 years, close to 5 years. Like it's about fucking time. I could have seen it been coming out this fall.
uh Dennis, you are very famously known for like how much you were excited about the September slate of games coming up. People are now saying that that February is the new September. Uh, do you think the Do you think we're gonna see more? Like based and is this all due to the fallout of GTA 6? Do you think God of War is coming out in February because of GTA? Did they give
Why are you
runway?
acting like Crazy February is a new thing?
Well, I mean, this is nuts. Fable people. I'm gonna pull up the release calendar. Okay,
Gonna be fucking RuneScape Dragon Wilds again.
RuneScape Dragon. No, just so far, and we're still in August, like early August. So there's still more games coming. I'm sure. You've got Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis, God of War, Laufey, Persona 4 Revival, and Fable, all slated for February right now. And right now, I don't know if we know games like there's no tentpole titles coming out in January. There's nothing that I know of announced for December, nothing for November, and October is like the most that we know. The fact that GTA has cleared out effectively like 3 months of time is absurd to me. And but I'm curious, like, do you actually think like God of War, if God of War was ready for 2027, they were just like, no, let's move this to next or ready for 2026. And they're like, no, we don't want to put it anywhere near GTA.
I mean, I'm sure they might have done that. I mean, I I don't think God of War is a game that needs to be scared of GTA 6 in my opinion. Um, I don't
Well,
know,
a God of
maybe
War
they'll
with
probably
you know how
lose some
with the
sales,
internet
but
is with the female protagonist type deal.
oh
You
yeah,
you don't think?
that's true. Laufey is kind of at a disadvantage with that, so maybe they do want to have
Mm-hmm.
a little bit clear clear the field a little bit there, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, apparently, there's speculation that God of War Laufey is releasing early in 2027 because uh, Sony has another first party game, like big first party game for later in the year, and they're saying that the Heretic Prophet is the big fall title for Sony in 2027. What do you think Sony's 2027 slate looks like?
I mean, probably those two then. That's like probably one too many games for Sony at this point. for a year.
Yeah, it's fair. That's a heck of a 1-2 punch if they get both of those out in 2027.
I mean, that legit, like, that's probably like the only PlayStation game that I'm actually excited for right now. Like,
You're not excited for
really?
Lafe?
No, I'm gonna play Lao Fei, but I wouldn't say I'm like like I'm like fucking crazy excited to play it. But like, I love Naughty Dog. Um, and I'm really excited for Intergalactic. Um, but yeah, generally, I am not really excited for a lot of things the PlayStation is doing right now. I mean, I am
That's
legitimately
crazy.
more
They've got so much
excited
good
for The
stuff.
Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer mod than I am for like most of the things PlayStation is doing right now.
It's wild. It is such a wild thing to say. I still can't understand. Like you watched that last Wolverine trailer, right? And you're still just nah, no thanks.
No.
Wow, insanity. People of the internet, that's absolutely insanity. Let's move on then. We'll go ahead and conclude with what we've been playing.
Trust me,
Dennis, tell us.
it's gonna be I think Wolverine is gonna be like a 78 or something like that.
That's insane. No shot.
I'm gonna say like between 75 and 85 on
I'm gonna
Metacritic.
call it at the lowest it's an 88, and at its highest it's a 92.
No, it's not gonna be in the 90s at all.
I think
And
this one's got the sauce, dude.
I will happily eat it if it is in the if it actually is in the 90s. I do not believe this game is gonna be in.
I think this game looks more and more like a game of the year contender every time I see it. And I think 88 to 92 is the right spot. All right, we're gonna move into what we've been playing. Dennis, I know what you've been playing, but tell the people.
I've been playing the absolute fucking peak, one of the peaks of a PlayStation's history, which is Uncharted 4. After playing, I also played Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 and Uncharted the Golden Abyss and Uncharted the Lost Legacy. After playing 007, I was like, I really want to play Uncharted again. So I went through and played literally the entire series back to back in chronological order. I started with Golden Abyss on Vita. um
I,
and I mean I so interesting, I thought Golden Abyss was pretty good. I thought Uncharted 1 was not great. Um I thought Uncharted 2 was way better than I remembered. Uncharted 3 was about where I thought it was, which was I think I've had it above Uncharted 2 before, and I am not sure how I would actually rank those two. I'm gonna just put them at the same. Um, and then I played Uncharted 4, and I was reminded by how fucking amazing this game is, dude. Like, it is so good. Like, when people are talking about like, oh, what's the best Uncharted game, and the fact that there is even a conversation at all is ridiculous to me. Like, it is so clearly Uncharted 4. Like, Uncharted 4 elevates everything about the Uncharted games. Like, the core gameplay is so much better. The fact that you can basically play um almost every scenario in stealth is amazing. I played through every scenario that you can play in stealth entirely in stealth. Uh which I really
you
loved.
you You want to know how you get Dennis is you give him a really good first person game with or a third person action adventure game with set pieces, and you just give him some kind of stealth element, because every time I hear you go off about a game, it's got some kind of stealth element.
Yeah.
Why haven't you played Metal Gear yet, dude?
Uh, because I don't. It's like too stealth. I've
Oh
tried.
no,
I do. I
no.
do. I do want to play them though. I do want to play them, but like the gameplay is amazing. Like even when you go guns blazing in Uncharted 4, the gameplay is so much more energetic and fun. Especially like I mean a lot of it due to like the addition of the like the drop attack and the uh the grappling hook.
Mm.
Like it's just becomes so much fun to traverse the environments in that game. Um and then the music, oh my god. Like when
Oh, the
when
music's
when the
fantastic.
music hits and you're like, dude, I can do fucking anything right now, and then you start fucking playing it like an action movie and then you die and then you get really disappointed. But but yeah, it's so much fun. And then like it elevates the story as well, and like not only um the story but also like the like each Uncharted game, you know, has a connection to the past in some way. But like Uncharted 4 has such a way deeper connection, but where they like tie the modern day story with the past in like multiple layers, where it's like Uncharted, like Nate's story in like in some way ties in with like Henry Avery's story, and then at the same time it also ties into, I don't remember the name of this guy, but there's like a previous expedition in like the late 1800s or something like that to find Henry Avery's treasure, and Nate's story also kind of lines up with his story in a way. So there's like multiple layers of depth here, which is so insanely cool that they did that. The characters are just so interesting. I love that the game is like it's kind of famous in like with like action movies or whatever. You have like, oh, you have the main character and the romantic interest, and then you like the story ends where they fall in love basically. And
Mhm.
Uncharted 4 is a story about the complications of marriage and
Yeah.
communication and all these like way more interesting and deep topics, where they take the like and they take the like everyday struggles of like anyone in a relationship, and they kind of uh push it to 11, and kind of really um over dramatize things in certain ways. So but it does it in like a very relatable way, where it's like, I mean, Uncharted 4 is fundamentally about lying, um and um the game handles that in a really good way. um and I could talk about Uncharted 4 for so long. I love this game so much, and like the set pieces, I mean, the the Madagascar sequence, like literally the point you set foot in Madagascar to the point you leave Madagascar, is like peak video game. I love that entire part, like starting with like that wide linear level in with the 4x4, where you're just kind of driving around and you're just listening to a lot, it's a lot of Sully and Sam just talking. Um and you have a lot of really good combat sequences or combat encounters there. And then you get to King's Bay and you do the clock tower sequence, which is so good. Um and then you get down from the clock tower, and then you do the whole fucking truck chase through King's Bay, which is insane. And you get into the convoy sequence, which is one of the best, which is probably the best designed set piece in the entire Uncharted series, in my opinion. So good. I mean, it's just peak all the way through. Like if I would say that there is like, if I legitimately, I would say if there's, if someone were to ask if there's what is like my favorite part of a video game of all time, it's that, it's like the entire Madagascar part of Uncharted 4. That is probably, I would say that's like literally a perfect section of a video game. And then I mean, the game continues to be fucking incredible after that. And I love the part where Elena comes in, like the conversations that Nate and Elena have during that part of the game. That section where they're sitting quietly in the 4x4 and the music just plays. It's so good. I love this game so much. It's so good.
Give me your rankings of the Uncharted bad guys or the baddies.
The bad guys.
Is Rafe the best antagonist or foil for Drake in the series?
I mean, yeah, probably. I would say bad guys are generally the weakest part of the Uncharted games. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't call like any of the Uncharted bad guys like fucking that's a really good bad guy, you know. But Rafe is pretty good. Rafe and Nadine. I think Nadine, like having played Lost Legacy, which I did play after Uncharted 4 here as well. Nadine gets a lot of depth in retrospect, which I really like. It's really fun because I really like Nadine in The Lost Legacy, and it's really fun to go back to Uncharted 4 and kind of with that context of who she becomes in that game. But I would say that probably, yeah, Rafe and Nadine is the best villain combo in the series. I do like Asav from Lost Legacy. He is in a lot of ways kind of a Lazarevich clone. In fact, there was something I was thinking about as I was playing Lost Legacy, is that it is kind of trying to redo a lot of things from Uncharted 2. It has like a lot of Uncharted 2 vibes. I mean, the train sequence in The Lost Legacy is insane.
Wait, is it as good as 2?
Wait, you haven't played
the 2
it?
train sequences. I haven't played Lost Legacy.
Dude, you have to play it. Oh my god. So, you know the convoy sequence from Uncharted 4, right? Mm-hmm. Where you're jumping between the cars, you can jump into a 4x4 and drive along the convoy and then jump back onto a truck and all that. Yeah. Imagine, close your eyes, Ryan. Close your eyes. Imagine the train sequence from Uncharted 2. Mm-hmm. You're walking along the train. You have those 2 weirdly positioned like pallets with blue plastic on them. You remember those, right?
Right.
Yes. Yep. So you're going along the train, and then eventually you run into a train car that you can't climb past or move past in any way. And now what you're supposed to do is jump off the train onto a 4x4 and drive along the train.
Oh man, that sounds sick.
Right?
How? That sounds incredible. You're telling me that you're this giant set piece guy, like you like that again. Other than stealth, that's why I hear you pop off about the most is set pieces, and Wolverine just doesn't interest you at all.
Because it's not just about the set piece, man. Like I see a lot of Uncharted 3 in Wolverine, where like Uncharted 3 had a lot of really cool set pieces, but they weren't very interactive at all.
Hmm.
Like, and even then, like, I mean, there are like quick time events in Uncharted 1. Uncharted 1 has a lot of quick time events. The rest of the games don't really have them. Um, but like, it's a lot of cutscene, light gameplay, another cutscene, slight gameplay. In what is so cool about the convoy or like the entire chase sequence in Madagascar in Uncharted 4 and the train sequence in The Lost Legacy is that you don't cut away to a cutscene. There's like one moment in that sequence in Uncharted 4 where they go to a cutscene, and that's when you are when you're starting to meet up back up with Sam. You see the convoy, you go over a hill, and then it goes into a cutscene that shows like, oh, there's Sam, and then you get control again. That's like the only time you lose control in that entire sequence. And there's a lot of points where you lose control in Uncharted 3, and that was like one of the biggest critiques of it. And in some ways, it's like kind of impossible with the kind of set pieces that they were going for, like the plane sequence. It's just so insane. Like it's impossible for you to always be in control in that sequence. Um, but yeah, I'm getting a lot of vibes from that, but worse, basically. Where it's like, I mean, take for example, the one I can think about right now is that like when you're driving the motorcycle and jumping onto that the truck on the road.
Mm-hmm.
There's like you're driving the motorcycle in this really scripted sequence. It doesn't even look like you're really driving. You're like on a track essentially. Um, and then you do the jump, and once you get into the jump, you're in a cutscene. You have no control, and then he lands on the car or on the truck, and then he gets up, and then you get back into control. And it's like fine, but what makes, and I think like that's kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like 007 is the closest anyone's gotten to Uncharted in terms of set pieces. It's like they have a lot of interactivity through those, but even then they're like cutting to cutscenes almost all the time.
Oh yeah.
um or I shouldn't say cutting, they're transitioning into cutscenes or
Mm-hmm.
like scripted parts. um But yeah, I mean, I don't think, I mean, the amount of work and effort that went into the convoy sequence in Uncharted 4 is absolutely insane. Like, I don't think we're gonna see anyone do anything close to that in a long time.
I guess we'll see. I mean, there's rumors that another Uncharted is in the works. I don't know how tangible it is or how substantial it is at this point.
But yeah,
Um,
you need to play Lost Legacy. It is
I'll
really
find some
good.
time for it eventually.
Eventually,
It
dude,
probably won't be this year.
you're gonna play today.
I am not. I certainly am not actually. I will. It may be a 2027 game, possibly. The way 2027 is looking, I don't know about that, but my gaming has been exclusively like new releases lately. Um, I just finished Mina last week. I don't know if I echo Curly's sentiments as much as like to where it's like my front runner for game of the year. I think that's still Saros at this point. But man, what a game. Dennis, you got to see it through just a little bit more. Like just get through like the first couple of dungeons. I don't know where you're at currently, but the movement, the combat, the music, the town, the environment, the dungeons are so like clever and creative, and like they kind of break the mold on like traditional dungeons a little bit for me. Um, like as far as like aesthetics wise, not really like gameplay wise too much, but like just like oh like in your classic like top down like dungeon crawler, like you'll have like elemental based dungeons or something like that, whereas this like they don't really like the aesthetics that they went for the different dungeons in this one uh break outside of that mold in a way that I really dug. I don't want to get like dive into spoilers too much. Kana Part 2 this year. We don't know that. I'm pretty sure that's getting delayed. Uh,
That is
but
hype. I'm excited.
I am excited. I haven't played Kana 1, but the sequel
Big
looks
fan.
great. Not fake. I just haven't had time for it.
I just like calling you a fake fan.
Yeah, I noticed. Outside of that, so after I finished Mina, I've been playing through Splatoon Raiders. I I think I think I hit the halfway point for it yesterday. That game's fantastic, man. The mechanics of Splatoon Raiders are so good. The story is nonsense. I couldn't care less. The music is absolute garbage, but the gameplay is so much. It's classic Nintendo where like there's just not much like style around. Oh no, there's tons of style. I take that back. There's not much substance in terms of story or like character like motive or anything like that. But the game mechanics are just so solid. Like it is so much fun. Just like gooping ink all over the place. Like the way that looks. It has a little bit of that like that Sonic Frontiers vibe for me, where like the characters are super colorful and vibrant, but the environments are like got that like taste of like photorealisticness, and I don't care for that, but it works with the the weapons and the ink and stuff. Like it makes it pop a little more. So I guess that's why they went that route. The creativity, like with the go ahead.
What I've seen the most around um Platoon Raiders is people going insane over Shiver.
Oh, I like gross insane.
I mean, just like
Like Gooner.
she's really forward in the game.
I guess yeah.
So I've just
Honestly,
seen
I've
a
been
bunch
sticking
of people
with the.
going crazy over Shiver. It's like, oh my god, Shiver, like waifu Shiver, basically.
Honestly, I kind of stick with the manta ray mostly as my buddy for the companion because you can
Big
choose any
Man
three of them.
is Ryan's waifu, confirmed.
That's it. Uh, the the gameplay to a lesser extent, and I kind of wish they'd like go full on with it. But like the creativity with the gadgets and the weaponry and like the cool design aesthetics is so like feels like Ratchet and Clank coded with like how creative Ratchet is with its weapon design and like the different ways to approach combat.
Have
I
you been
wish
playing Splatoon before?
no, no, this is my first time like really jumping into anything Splatoon. I played
Oh,
two multiplayer a little bit, uh, but man, I love the wacky weapon designs and gadget designs and different ways to approach like the combat. That's probably my most played game right now. Uh, I played me and Arya have been playing a little bit of Dench Attack.
wait, back to Splatoon. Um, you should play the campaigns in the other Splatoon games.
Ooh,
Like
I might this one's selling me a good
they
bit.
are. Like I am not like I wouldn't say I'm really exaggerating when I'm saying this. Like imagine again, close your eyes, Ryan. Close your eyes. Imagine
Here we go.
the gameplay of Splatoon. You're splatting things and stuff like that. Imagine that, but in the framework of Mario Galaxy.
Mm, okay.
That's like basically
This is gonna see this is gonna disappoint you, Dennis, because I've only played like maybe like 3 levels of Mario Galaxy.
yeah, okay. I mean 3D World then. You play 3D World, right?
Yeah, Splatoon 3's campaign is in the framework of 3D World.
Yeah, I mean it's in the framework of also it just hit me. You haven't played Mario Galaxy?
Like I said, like I've done like the first world.
What is this?
I skipped
Anyway,
that generation of Nintendo console, and I know it's out now,
um,
but like I just didn't have
I'm
time for it.
Curly. I'm not saying it's as good as Mario Galaxy. I'm saying it's the same framework of like levels, like how the levels are structured, that kind of stuff. It's more like puzzle focused and more like it's not like you don't get like waves of enemies thrown at you like you did get in Raiders. It's more like focused on puzzles and level design and stuff like that, as you would see in like a Mario game, but it's like with Splatoon
Mm.
mechanic.
Splatoon 3 has like a roguelike mode for
Yeah, I
like
think that's
a side, like a DLC, right?
I think that's the DLC side order, I believe. I haven't played that.
I'm very interested in that. That sounds amazing. I may jump into that after I'm done with Raiders, but we'll see.
Curly's Llama. What is this? Dude, you gotta play Mario Galaxy. What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah, at some point, I'm sure I will. I mean, I'd be more enticed to do it if Miyamoto would just admit that they stole the idea from Ratchet and Clank. But he never heard of that game beforehand, so
What?
whatever.
What
I'm just
does
saying,
Mario Galaxy
Ra-
have in
Ra-
common with Ratchet and Clank?
Ratchet did the like the gyroscope, not gyroscopic, but like the world thing where you like you're walking around the tiny planet in like a 3D space. Ratchet did that first in Going Commando. Just saying. And then Miyamoto was asked about this, like because like one of the Insomniac devs was like, yeah, we were really touched that he liked our game so much that he decided to put it in the Mario franchise, and the Miyamoto was like, that had nothing to do at all with
Dude, I believe
the
him.
reason that we made Mario Galaxy.
I don't think Miyamoto plays video games outside of like
I
Nintendo
just think
stuff.
it's I mean, just give credit where credit's due. You
Like
steal an idea for the game.
I don't think Miyamoto is like Sakurai. Sakurai is like he's like a gamer. Like he plays video games. Like
Yeah,
he plays everything. I mean, he showed his like whole apartment in like one of the like his whole like
yeah.
gaming setup in like one of the Smash videos. um but yeah, like like Miyamoto made a statement recently where it's like I don't really play video games so much. He like plays video games like with his grandkids or whatever. It's like I think it's 100% a real possibility that he's not played Ratchet and Clank 2.
I'm kidding. Y'all realize this is a bit, right? Like, like obviously, Mario Galaxy is just a blind spot for me. It's one of my bigger ones, and I eventually want to get to it. But I mean, I'm not in any rush. There's a lot of great games I haven't
Shaboink
played yet.
says space and gravity. Ratchet and Clank made this concept.
That's not what I'm talking about. It's so stupid. Oh man. But outside of Splatoon, me and my daughter have been playing Densha Tech, and I don't know if anybody else is playing it, but we're playing it where I have one Joy-Con and she has the other. So I do the jumping and or she does the jumping and the turning, and I do the tricks and stuff. It's so much fun. It's so stupid. It's so frustrating, but it is an incredible time. And if you have somebody to split Densha Tech with, absolutely jump into it. I think it's like $20 on Switch. Um, Most recently started playing Campaign Evolved on Game Pass and Beasts of Reincarnation. Um, Campaign Evolved. Man, I just want to love Halo the way that everybody else loves Halo. And I just, for some reason, I just can't. I don't understand what that is. It's another huge gaming blind spot that I'm trying to get rid of because I've never really played a campaign and didn't really play a lot of multiplayer growing up. Uh, and I'm like 3 missions in on the campaign, and I just I don't. It's not gripping me the way I was hoping it would. Everybody's like, this is such a legendary story with such amazing lore, and Master Chief's such an awesome character. And he's such a just like a nothing of a
I
character.
know.
I,
That's why I like Halo 4, because Halo 4 actually tried to go somewhere with the characters. I really don't understand what people are talking about with like the story of Halo or whatever. I really feel like people are like, "Oh, the story is so good," but what they're actually about, it like they actually love about Halo is like killing aliens with your bros.
But I mean, that's cool. Like me and Sid tried to jump into the first two missions together. She has like a kind of an issue with motion sickness, so she can't really do the first person. Which luckily there's a third person mod for this one, but it still just kind of wasn't really her thing. I'm gonna
Ryan,
see if I
see
can get somebody else to hop in there with
that's
me.
where
But
you made the mistake. You gotta shoot aliens with your bros.
what better bro do you have than your wife, dude?
Well, you gotta do it with the bros. That's the only way you can enjoy Halo.
I don't think any of my bros are playing Halo like right now.
Skill issue.
I mean, that's fair.
By the way,
I don't know.
I'm also doing a bit like, of course you can play Halo with whoever the fuck you want.
That's um outside of that, like I said, I started yesterday. I started the Beasts of Reincarnation get it on Game Pass, and that game has been very divisive on the internet lately. A lot of people it reviewed terribly. I think it's got like a 76 on Open Critic. Um, but I'm actually liking it. I'm liking it a good bit. It is unpolished. It is a game freak ass game. You can see the Pokemon aesthetics all over the place. You can see the the lack of any kind of emotion on any of the characters' faces. The story is just way too ham fisted, but the gameplay is really fun. It almost feels like a Nintendo game in that way, where it's just like I could not care about the story. I think your characters are really boring, but the action RPG combat of it all is actually really cool. They got some
Do
really
you
cool
have
and
a
interesting mechanics.
do you have um a rival who you keep beating over and over and he keeps just smiling and telling you, "Wow, that was amazing."
Uh, Not yet, but I'm pretty sure I just made ran into a character that could be that character going forward. So TBD. But like, it even has like the
Wow,
Pokemon like XP bar.
thank you for killing all my Pokemon again. I really needed that.
Yeah. Hey Gary, how's your Eradicate? Oh man. Um, but yeah, it's got like the Pokemon XP bar up at the top. It reviewed terribly for what I needed it to do. Curly, that's what I mean. 76 is fine, but you know I needed
Well, I mean,
points.
it's the same that Wolverine's gonna get.
That's not true at all.
No, I mean, Wolverine is at the very least gonna have the brand loyalty, so I will at least give
Yeah,
it like 5 points.
but it's good. If you got Game Pass, I don't recommend buying it yet. I'm still pretty early on, but if you have Game Pass, definitely encourage people to hop in and give it a shot. Gonna play some Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls this weekend. Excited for that. Arya is really excited about that one. We played the beta a little bit last weekend or the weekend before last, whenever it was live. That game's awesome. I'm not usually a fighting game guy, but Arc System Works art style is just second to none.
I have no interest.
That's fair.
I still stand by that it should have been like a PlayStation fighting game. That would have been sick.
No, this is perfect. This is perfect. It's like it just builds off of
Can you
the Marvel
imagine it?
versus Capcom.
Imagine if it was like, yeah, that's the problem. It's just another Marvel game. Can you
Except
imagine if it
this,
was like Aloy and like Nathan Drake or like Ellie or like fucking Crash Bandicoot? That'd be crazy.
this game already exists, Dennis.
PlayStation,
You can
no.
just go play that game. You can just go play PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, and it was great.
Was
They
it?
need to do another fighting game.
It's fine.
And it was like made at like an unfortunate time where it was like, oh, we like if they would have made they would have made a PlayStation fighting game like 5 years later, they would have had a fucking insane lineup of characters because that would have been in like the PS4 era.
I don't want. I don't feel the need for Sony to try to get a Smash clone going.
No, I
I
don't need us. Like that's why I would have wanted this like Tokan to be a PlayStation fighter.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Can,
that would
can
have
you
been cool.
imagine? Can you imagine like a stylized in this style Joel from The Last of Us doing like some weird ass fucking fighting moves? That would have been sick.
All of Arc System Works are like anime fighters, though. How would that work with Joel?
Yeah, I mean, imagine like how creative, like just look at how creative they've been with the Marvel license. Imagine if they would have been equally creative with the PlayStation characters.
Yeah,
I think it would have been
I don't
fucking
know.
awesome. But instead,
There's a lot of
PlayStation is like, oh, we don't have any cool IPs. What about you? Why don't you make a Marvel fighter like there isn't 15 of those already?
there's a lot of IP that I kind of wish Arc System Works would give a fighting game to. Sony first party is not one of them that's ever crossed my mind. Um, Also, I love the the juxtaposition of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls coming out this weekend, and I don't know if you caught the short that we put out, but DC announced DCKO or Dicko as the internet is calling it
I
for
saw the
mobile.
short. Yeah,
Is such incredible
big
timing.
go.
Like what? Dennis, before we wrap up for the night, because we're getting close to that time, I do want to ask you. So September, I know you don't care for most of the games coming out in September, but what games are you playing, or what games do you plan to like are like must plays for you in September?
Uh, Let me just September.
It's just RuneScape Dragon Wilds, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah, just keep Dragon Miles, bro. What else do you need?
I hope that one day you play RuneScape Dragon Wilds and you just like fall in love with it, just on as a joke. If you lose Fantasy Critic, if you come in third place on Fantasy Critic this year, you have to play RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
Oh, I'm not
I'll buy it for
play
you.
that. I don't want you to play it for me.
What do you think, Carly? Loser of Fantasy Critic has to play RuneScape Dragon Wilds.
Oh.
24-hour stream.
See. Oh yeah, Control Wrestling. I'm playing Control Wrestling.
Okay, yeah, I figured that.
There's not even a competition.
What about now? You're the Capcom guy. So are you playing Onimusha?
I will probably play Onimusha eventually. But unless I get a job and get more money, I will only be able to afford one controller.
You should. There's a free demo. I urge you. I played the Onimusha demo Monday night. That demo's really good. That game looks really fun. It's probably not on my short list of games I'm going to play in September, but it's really cool. It's Soulsy though, so I don't know how much you're going to like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But I think the combat looks pretty dynamic and interesting.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Early says Dennis is gonna play Wolverine. He's just too committed to the bit. No, I'm not gonna. I the only way I would play Wolverine if it like gets fucking tense or whatever. Or like high nines. Because then it's just okay, then I'm wrong. And I can admit what I'm wrong. But I just don't think that's gonna be it. But I'm also not gonna be playing it at launch either. I still haven't played Ghost of Yotei.
Oh, Ghost of Yotei is so good.
It's like that. And if I'm
Curly
gonna play,
hasn't played any of the Ghost games.
If I'm gonna buy a PlayStation exclusive right now, I'm gonna buy that over Wolverine. I do want to play that.
That's fair. I don't even fault you that.
To it.
Ghost of Yotei is fantastic. This is a new Onimusha. Shut up, Shaboy. It's Soulsy is it's kind of like Neo in a way.
Shaboy, do you not know that there's a new Onimusha coming out? What else?
See, there's you playing orbitals at all?
My friend Carl wants to play it, so we'll play that.
You could just have one person do that. I think I want to do a stream for that one. I'd like to see if me and if me and the wife might stream that one on the channel when it comes out. That art style's so good. I love me a good Akira Toriyama like.
When is Galactic Racer? Is that in
That's
October?
that's this month, isn't it? No,
Or is it
Galactic Race
August?
is October. What's the other Star Wars game is this month? Zero
Hero
Company.
Company. Yeah, I want to play that. I want to play both the Star Wars.
Yeah, I want to play Galactic Racer. I don't know. October is too packed because I kind of mapped it out today. I'm gonna play Orbitals. I'm gonna play. I'm playing the Blood of Dawnwalker. I'm sold on that game entirely, and then Wolverine. And then October is gonna be Phantom Blade Zero. I'm gonna try to hit a little bit of Gears of War E-Day, and then Final Fantasy Resonance. Luckily, December looks wide open, so I could probably throw one of those games in December and just catch up after the fact. Unless Nintendo decides to release Ocarina in December, in which case, whatever.
I mean, that's gonna release. I think it's gonna release fucking the same week as GTA 6.
I hope so.
It would be
so.
so
I hope they do
funny,
it.
dude.
I hope it's the same day. Like, just take that,
awesome.
Rockstar. It would be amazing. It won't happen. I'm to the point where I wouldn't be shocked if they did the same week as GTA, but I also wouldn't be shocked if this gets pushed to 2027. And they put it in February.
They don't tend. I don't think they would have even announced.
That's
like
fair.
If you look at, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I guess Zelda tends to get delayed a bunch, but this is also not a mainline Zelda game. This is a remake. I'm sure they have a way more structured and planned plan for this development. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be.
I hope not. I certainly hope not. But yeah, any closing thoughts before we conclude for the night, Mr. Dennis?
You need to play Uncharted Lost Legacy and both Super Mario Galaxy games and the Splatoon single players. And I expect you to have
That's
that
a lot of
done
money
by the next Famipod. Thank you very much.
That won't happen. I am cleaning up my games right now before September Madness happens. If any of those were to happen, it would be Lost Legacy, and I don't think that's happening anyway. I actually own that one, I think, because I have the collection.
Play Lost Legacy. Do it. It's so short. You can get it in like.
It's one of my hated blind spots. I want to play it so bad, but I've got tons of blind spots that I want to fix, and you got to pick and choose.
So people do oversell how short it is. Like, it is basically the length of the original Uncharted 1.
No, you could beat the original Uncharted in 2 hours, though.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking speedrunner.
It was so much fun, dude. If you ever try to go for the plat, I don't know if you're a platinum like trophy chaser, but dude, the Uncharted 1 platinum is very fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna do it. I think good people of the internet, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Shaboik, Carly, Baird, Diego, Dennis. Thanks for talking games with me. I know you're stupid tired, so we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back next week with possibly another game of the year. We're gonna play the Big Walk. A Big Walk. Is it or the?
This is just called Big Walk.
Just called Big Walk. Just a Big Walk. Just Big Walk. We're gonna do some fun.
Dude, I am so excited to play Big Walk, man.
I am excited to figure out what this game is about because I'm kind of blind on it. Not yet. I haven't tried it yet. Um, I'm excited for it. We'll be back next week with that. Until then, thank y'all so much. We love y'all. We'll be back. Wait, you know what? For the next fam game session, dot what?
I think you just didn't put a space after the period.
Oh, watch Ryan play Lost Legacy. Okay, okay. You know, so here's the thing, and Dennis, I need your help with this because I want to start streaming on Monday mornings before work. I think it's the perfect way for me to start my work week, and I need some branding for it. And I'd love to. I don't know what I want to do on Monday mornings just yet, but I think I was thinking platformers, like some cozy 3D platformers to kick off the work week. Sounds like a great way to do it. Maybe we could sprinkle some other stuff in there, like Lost Legacy or some things on my backlog. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna need your help with that, Dennis. But yeah, enough of that. You can find us everywhere I mentioned before: YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, at Famicorp. Um, we'll be back next week, next Wednesday, with Big Walk. Until then, we're gonna awkwardly wave goodbye. Thank y'all so much. We love you. Toodaloo.